Hello, friends and neighbors. I'm going to read you a little bedtime story by Chung Tzu. He was a contributor to what's now known as the Tao. Really, Lao Tzu didn't write all of it. So it's called The Frog in the Well. Once upon a time in ancient China, there was a frog who lived in an abandoned well. He considered himself the master of his domain and felt quite satisfied with it. One day he saw a sea turtle moving slowly nearby. He felt like some conversation to liven up an otherwise boring day, so he called out a greeting. The sea turtle approached to return the greeting. Upon seeing the frog's smug expression, he said, "You seem happy. That is good." "Happy? Of course I'm happy," the frog smiled proudly. "Look at my life. Whenever I want, I can hop around the outside of this well. When I feel tired, I can go inside the well to rest. Sometimes I enjoy the water, so I go soaking in it. Sometimes I enjoy the mud, so I run my feet through it." He pointed at the smaller creatures in the well. "See the tadpoles and the others? They cannot compare to me. I know more than they do. I enjoy life more than they can imagine. This well is my territory, and I own the water. This is as good as it gets." The sea turtle did not respond, but the frog was in a generous mood. So he offered, "Why don't you come into the well and take a look? I want you to see for yourself." The frog jumped into the well, and the sea turtle tried to follow. But even before he could get his left foot in the well, his right foot was already stuck. There was no way he could fit through, so he backed away. "I am sorry," he said to the frog. "Your well may be a little bit small for me." "Small?" The frog did not understand. "It is not small. It has more space than I will ever need. It is big. Big! Do you even know what big means?" The sea turtle was amused by the question. "Well, I come from the ocean, and I know the ocean is truly big." "Is that right?" The frog got defensive. "What are we talking about exactly? Twice as big as my well? 3 times as big? Is that what you mean?" The sea turtle shook his head. "We cannot really describe the ocean in those terms. It is larger than we can measure with 1,000 miles, and deeper than we can measure with 1,000 yards. The frog was confused. He could not imagine anything that spanned 1,000 miles, much less something that went beyond such measurements. Upon seeing his confusion, the sea turtle knew he had to explain it in a different way. He said, "There was a time in the distant past when we had 9 years of continuous downpour and floods, but the ocean did not increase in size. There was also another time when we had 7 years of continuous drought, but the ocean did not shrink either. You see, the ocean is so big that even such drastic changes in the weather over long periods of time did not affect it one way or another." This finally got through to the frog. He was shocked as his mind struggled to grasp it. "How could something that big exist?" The sea turtle continued, "Just as there is in your well. Perhaps we can call it the great happiness of the limitless ocean." The sea turtle sensed that he had said enough. The frog was still staring at him, completely speechless. The sea turtle bid him farewell. It was time for him to resume his journey. Howdy, folks. Did you like The Frog in the Well? Well, if you didn't understand it, I've got an explanation for you, and it's from the book The Tao of Happiness by Derek Lin. Well, Derek Lin didn't write, but he wrote the explanations, basically. So let's get into it here. One of the most common expressions in Chinese, Jing Di Ji Hua, it can be translated as the frog at the bottom of the well, which describes someone who has such a limited perspective that he's ignorant of his ignorance. The expression comes directly from this story, in which the frog is diametrically opposite to the ping bird in the previous story. We'll read that another time. The usefulness of the story goes beyond the expression. It asks the following questions. What are you? Are you the tadpole, the frog, or the sea turtle? Where are you? Are you in the abandoned well or the limitless ocean? The tadpole is the person who has little or no understanding of spiritual matters. He never looks beyond the physical to ponder the deeper questions of life, like the tadpole never venturing outside the well. He may not even realize there's anything that needs exploring. The frog is someone who becomes full of himself upon gaining a little knowledge. He knows a bit about the Tao, not as much as he imagines, but enough to make him feel superior to the tadpole. His illusion of superiority gives him a feeling of happiness that is also illusory. The sea turtle is a Tao cultivator who applies the teachings to life. Such a cultivator is immersed in the great Tao, like the sea turtle living in the ocean, and has direct experience of its vastness. The sea turtle is a worthy aspiration for all of us. The difference between the frog and the sea turtle comes from what they learn. The limited understanding of the frog is similar to academic trivia and esoteric distinctions. This kind of knowledge has no impact on one's life and zero practical value, and it gives rise to arrogance. A frog in our world would be someone who can rattle off definitions of specialized terms, not realizing that his ivory tower can in fact be an abandoned well, and the water in it is stagnant and stale. In the ocean, the sea turtle is surrounded by unlimited wisdom. In our world, this wisdom manifests as Tao teachings about connections and relationships. It is a practical path of spirituality that impacts every aspect of one's life, and its greatness inspires humility. The sea turtle lives in gratitude for the ocean, which is not only vast, but also dynamic. Everything in it is always different, always interesting. The well is finite. The ocean is infinite. No matter how you multiply a finite quantity, the result is still finite. On the other hand, no matter how you add to or subtract from the infinite, you still get infinity every time. One cannot compare the measurable water of the well to the immeasurable water of the ocean, just as one cannot compare the illusory happiness of the frog in the well to the authentic happiness of the Tao. If you are the frog who's been hopping around the well, it's time to stop and join the sea turtle. Instead of comparing yourself with people who don't know much about the Tao, look to experienced cultivators as examples to inspire you. See how they immerse themselves in the Tao and consider the same approach for yourself. If you are the sea turtle who's been interrupted while heading for the ocean, it's time to continue on your way. As much as you want to share the Tao, there's only so much you can do for those who are unable to understand. Extend an invitation for them to join you whenever they are ready and resume your journey. The vast ocean of the Tao is waiting for you.